Hi everyone, welcome back to another CAPS video. My name is Surya and I'm a grade 12 student studying in Toronto. Today we have a very special guest here to talk about her experiences within University of Toronto's Rotman Business Program. Would you please introduce yourself?
Yes, hi everyone. My name is Erin Kim. I'm currently a second-year student in Rotman Commerce, specializing in management with a focus in marketing and strategy and innovations. I'm hoping to do a minor or two in economics and contemporary Asian studies. I'm also from the Greater Toronto area. I'm from Aurora.
Great. That seems like a hefty course load.
It's not too bad actually. It's a little flexible, but it's definitely a lot of work.
So can you just describe how you like Rotman, how University of Toronto is, and the campus environment?
Yeah, absolutely. So unfortunately, things are online now, but I was thankful enough, lucky enough to have my first year experience on campus. And Rotman is definitely a very special community. The amount of support that you have from your peers, professors, and faculty is quite remarkable. The campus environment, I love livelihood and the busyness that is downtown. So since our campus is right embedded in the center of downtown, it's definitely very fun. There's a lot of things going on always. It's very loud and active, but that's the environment that I really like. So our campus is definitely lively and enjoyable to be on.
I guess that relates to the social aspect. Was it easy to make friends and get involved in your opinion?
In my opinion, absolutely. As the University of Toronto is a very big school, there's so many different types of people that you can meet and different social groups that you can be a part of. In terms of making friends, so U of T has our core faculties, and within the arts and science faculty, which is our biggest faculty, there are 7 colleges. So orientation is run in a way where you can very easily meet people within your college. So a lot of my closest friends now are from my college, and they make the friend making process very seamless and easy by really creating your personal community.
Do you think that it's easier to make friends and have a good social life if you're a student living in res rather than a commuter student?
Absolutely. I think there is definitely a completely different range of people and a type of experience that you can have if you're living on residence, especially because everyone else is jumping into it blindly with you, right? So you can definitely get a lot of help from your peers, also residence dons and people in charge of the building, and also definitely living with friends and living on your own. I think made me grow a lot as a person as well. So I definitely would recommend the residence experience.
So why did you choose Rotman over the other programs you applied to?
Yeah, so I thought a lot about this question actually. I applied to basically the majority of the business programs in Ontario, and I think I chose Rotman for two main reasons. One was the location, like I mentioned, after visiting some of the campuses, a lot of them were great, but as soon as I went downtown and as soon as I went on to King's Circle, I was like, wow, this is the type of environment I want to be a part of. I know it's a lot more difficult for students now to get that in-person experience, but I would strongly recommend if the university offers virtual tours or stories that you hear from people that go to that university, really what the campus is like, because you are going to be spending the majority of your time on there for the next 4 years or even more. And in terms of the program itself at Rotman, I really liked how international it was and how global it was. Out of everyone that I've met and within my core friend group, we're from 4 different continents. And from being such a small town that is Aurora, you don't get to meet very many people that have lived in so many different countries before, have so many different cultural backgrounds. And I think Rotman, out of all the business schools I applied to, had that type of international community. And I think that's why I chose Rotman.
Now I'm just gonna ask about the application process. Was it easy to fill out the applications, the supplementaries, and your extracurriculars?
Yeah, so the Rotman application is spontaneous, meaning I believe now they give you 1 or 2 set questions, and then the rest are spontaneous, so they're random. And they do have 1 or 2 video questions involved that talk about your interpersonal skills, your interest in business, why you want to study at Rotman, things like that. So for me personally, I think I made a list of all the extracurriculars that I want to highlight within my application and wrote little stories underneath each of them to ensure that I know what I'm talking about. And then based on the random question I was given, I looked back to my sheet and saw what experience or what story would fit best with the question. And I think that's how I kind of juggled it. In terms of my extracurriculars, I'm very passionate about advocating for student mental health and mental well-being. So I was the president of Jack.org at my high school, which is an organization dedicated to breaking the stigma surrounding mental health. I also really love musical theater, so I did a lot of performances through that. Also, like held a show at my school that I directed. So a lot of experiences I guess, in that field. And in terms of extracurriculars, really, anything that you do that you find is interesting is it's valuable and it's valid. So I, recommend don't be hesitant to brag a little and talk about everything that you accomplished within your extracurriculars.
I know that U of T is very competitive and it's kind of difficult. So more about the course load, how do you handle it, especially with this online format, and how much work do you do on like a weekly basis?
So this is really case by case. It really depends on the person. Um, but I feel like Rotman itself, or any really business course, yes, the academics are important. Academics are always important, but also networking, joining different clubs, meeting different people, going to different workshops, like that is equally as important. So in terms of how many hours a week I have classes, we have about a third of what the engineering students have. So I only have maybe 11 to 13 hours of class lectures and tutorials a week, which is not that much at all, especially, high school students, you guys have 8 hours a day. We have 11 hours for the entire week. So it's a lot less for sure. But on top of that, I would strongly recommend that you get involved and you fill that time. And also there's a lot of readings, a lot of homework, a lot of practice questions that you do have to do on your own time. It really also is dependent on like the time. So I would say around early September and early January is actually not too bad. It's not too busy, but come exam season, you do have to study like 6, 7, 8 hours a day on top of attending lectures and such. You might have to pull a couple of all-nighters, but also it really depends on how you manage your time.
Now, U of T is known for its academic rigor. Do you think that Rotman is much difficult than maybe the other business programs you would apply to?
I think in terms of the courses, the difficulty is definitely there. Definitely, first and second year courses are more challenging. I can't really speak on how the other universities compare to us, but I can say that you can expect your usual 80s and 90s in university for sure. But I think, that's for every single university. Rotman is rigorous, but they definitely have also the support that you need. Professors are more than willing to talk to you. And I know our class sizes are very big, but it really is up to how you take advantage of it. There's TA hours and office hours every week. So if you are struggling, you definitely can reach for help.
Now, you talked about like the opportunities that are available to Rotman students. Are there any other opportunities like clubs and work experiences that you can have on campus?
Yeah, so I think the most important one that I want to introduce that I wish I knew when I was in high school is the Rotman portal. So we have a portal where every single Rotman event and Rotman or recruiters, any job opportunities are posted. We also have things called RC clubs, Rotman Commerce clubs, and there are, I want to say, around 22 to 26 clubs right now that are designated for Rotman Commerce students. So for example, I'm a part of the Rotman Commerce Marketing Association, and we are dedicated to providing students with exposure within the marketing industry. But there's a club like that for almost anything you can think of. And if you can't think of it, then you can also start one. So those are very exclusive and great opportunities because the upper years that are a part of these organizations are people that have gone through what you're going through right now. So they're definitely great mentors and people that you can network with.
Great. Now, moving on to more co-op and internship placements, do you have to find them yourself or are they required for Rotman?
Yeah, so actually, co-op is not required for Rotman, nor is it necessarily offered through Rotman. One of the things is I do strongly recommend, and if you come and once you come, you'll realize it is very competitive when getting internship positions for the summer. But it's really up to how you want to leverage your degree. For example, some people prefer to do summer internships. Some people prefer to take a semester off and do winter internships. Some people take a year or a year and a half off and do 12 to 18-month internships. So it really is up to you. But like I said, the internship opportunities are available through the Rotman portal. And also you get your own Rotman academic advisor as well as your college's academic advisor or your career advisor. So you can definitely go to them, ask them for resume review, interview practices, and they will definitely help you become a better person in that sense to apply to the internships that you want.
So as a second-year student, have you applied to internships or taken on an internship position?
Yes, so in first year summer, I was able to do a very short internship in Korea. And I worked for a PR agency essentially. So a lot of, analyzing news articles, communicating with clients, things like that. And I'm in the process of applying. So once students get to first and second year or even third year, you'll know, depending on what career you want to pursue, there is a recruitment season generally for that career path. So since I'm more focused on marketing and sales, my, I guess, peak season is coming up. So I'm definitely preparing for that right now.
Well, good luck with that. I wish you all the luck. Do you have anything else that you would like to share with the high schoolers watching?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing I would say, because I know the biggest stress for everyone right now is probably supplementary applications because the due date is coming up. I know this sounds cheesy, but you really just have to be yourself. I think the biggest advice I would give is if they ask you a question about your passions and interests, don't say it's business because they're assuming that business is already your passion and that's why you're applying to this program. They really want to know who you are outside of just an academic student. I wrote about my experience as a performer. My friend wrote about how she was a swimming instructor, right? Like we want to show our characters and who we are outside of only academics, and that's what the supplemental application is for. So I would strongly encourage students to take advantage of that.
I will definitely keep that in consideration. I have to write my supplementary soon as well. Thank you. So thank you so much, Erin, for sharing your experiences with us today. Those are all the questions we prepared for you. To all those watching, if you have any questions, feel free to comment them down below or use our social media to ask us. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in another CAPS video.
Thank you.